Hey, hi Aditi. Welcome to our second podcast. In this podcast series that the Eximius and NSRCEL are putting together before the Eximius of this year starts, which I think is a wonderful idea. Getting to hear the stories of a lot of entrepreneurs across that have had some connections with NSRCEL. So maybe to kick off, Aditi, maybe I'll introduce you first, and then you can introduce later. Um, so, folks, Aditi has been part of our Women Startup Program, and Women Startup Program in the third edition of it, which was through the COVID. And Women Startup Program is for those women who have just started the ventures who would like to start their ventures. It's kind of online, offline, class, not class, MOOCs plus Launchpad plus incubation. So it's for anybody across the country if you're interested in starting a venture, not knowing what to do, or just about starting your venture and need some kind of guidance. This has been a very good program, been successful over the last four cohorts, helped thousands of women entrepreneurs across the country. And this is probably one of those very successful programs that NSRCEL has been conducting. So Aditi joined us. She was already a celebrity when she came to us. She was in MasterChef. Uh, so we were all looking to hear from her what would her experience be. So go ahead, Aditi. Maybe you should do your introduction now.
Thank you so much, Professor, and really amazing to be part of NSRCEL podcast now. And my name is Aditi Madan, and founder of BluePine Foods Private Limited and brand Yankees by Momami. I'm currently located in NCR. So I was born and brought up in Darjeeling in Himalayas, and right now living in Delhi NCR since past 20 years. Thank you so much, Professor, for your introduction. And yes, I think that would be much more than enough for me as of now. Yes, because I was not a celebrity. Actually, I never felt that I'm a celebrity then, and now also I'm just an entrepreneur. Because I feel that if celebrities earn for themselves, right, an entrepreneur works for the ecosystem and the stakeholders, and that's what has been taught to
True.
me by NSRCL. Yes.
So yeah, but Aditi, you're like been in some of these master chef, and you have had some success on the food. Why did you pick up Momo as your venture?
Yes, very good question, Professor. And being to MasterChef in 2013, uh, being in the food industry post MasterChef, traveling across India with different states, going for workshops and teaching different cuisines. From Japanese, Italian, pure vegetarian Japanese, Italian, and everything on. But somehow, when I came back and realized uh, uh, that actually you know there were three four reasons, Professor. So about, if I speak about, one major was that when I used to miss a lot of Himalayan food, meaning anywhere from the Himalayas, from northeast or from North India, across any region where there is Himalayan region, soul warming, soul nourishing food, I used to miss a lot in Delhi NCR at that point of time. And second reason was the widest range of agro produce, right? Getting wasted and decay. So also that led me to discovery of innovating under Momos, because Momo being my basic strength and expertise and skill sets that I had in my hand as a staple food as well. So that's how I took Momo as a product where I could venture out, because using widest range of agro produce and converting it into a product, and without adding any preservatives, there was no other product that could fit in as a staple single set meal. So market is majorly dominated by like potato based products where the option is only frying, and there's no choice of steaming. And momo is one product, or dumplings I would say, that it can be steamed, and the second choice or option is also frying. So that's how I navigated towards momo, because it can be replicated in any part of the country or the world, in any area, rural, urban, right, with the agro produce that is readily available. And we can play with different skins, we can play with different combinations. That's how it can lead to more innovation, and also being a very very healthy and wholesome meal.
So, okay, maybe given the fact that I may have not eaten an authentic momo, because the momos I've had are all off the street. I quite like momos. I like them very much. Wherever and whenever we have meetings, especially for some of the newer programs that we are starting, our the default snack that we buy is momos, and it comes very hot, very good. So what we get to see out on the streets, how close are these to those that you grew up eating at home?
To be very very honest, it was not so close to the product that is available in the market, because 90% of the market is captured by the unorganized sector, right? And the kind of momo, so there are different forms of momos particularly. So there is like dim sums, there is momo, which is a pure momo, which has to be eaten with hands, right, which has to be picked up with hands and enjoyed, whether it's torn or uh, whether it's a very fat momo. It is a momo. So momo is as it is to be eaten as it is. And there are some forms which are known as wontons, right? So sometimes I see that a lot of customers, consumers, they confuse wontons, or which are sold as momos particularly, right? And also because momo has a particular shape and also weight, right? So it has to be identical, ideal momo has to be around like 24 to 26 grams is what I have what I have been consuming since my birth, or after, like when I came into this earth, right? So that's where. And the authentic momos has a wide combination of vegetables with balance of nutrition, and also like the vegetable combination, if I speak about, it has ginger, coriander, where it balances, the ginger balances the cabbage combination, right, for the acidity and other aspects as well, and it takes care. Then we used to have mostly also whole wheat atta momos as well. So the market has different kind of momo, and some so it's very hard to find sometimes the very authentic and authentic momo. So that really disappointed me at some point of time. So I tried to guide and educate also, like how authentic momos are made, and how they should sell authentic momos. And for example, in BluePine Foods, we use like patent brand maida, right? Fine flour, and also whole wheat, which is pure chakki atta. And we use the produce also comes fresh in the morning every day, and we then convert it into the product. There's a combination. So in market, the major differentiating factor one is that they use lot of MSG, to be very very open here today. So everybody is using a lot of MSG, which makes the taste very very impactful, and then they feel that the momo is very good, or the because of the chutney or the sauce, it is a very good combination, and people tend to eat more. Whereas we hardly use MSG, and we don't use MSG in our products basically, right? So there are a lot of differences, professor. And then there is a wide lot of so I would say the authenticity comes with the crafting also. Like machine made, fully automated, we also have, but at the same time, me as a founder promoter, I promote handcrafted momos, because the handcrafted artisanal momos is where the authenticity comes in. and every product, every momo has a different shape and different dimension, and also the pleat counts. If I go more deeper into the momo aspect, the features, so example, a chicken momo would have more than 20 to 24 pleats, right, like the sari, we fold sari, right? And vegetarian, the veg momo has a different shape in it. So there are different combinations. Yes, in due course of time there has been a lot of innovation as well, and a lot of fusion also. But we don't focus on fusion, much more on fusion, but we focus on the authenticity with innovation, so not focusing much on the fusion aspect.
Okay. So when did you decide I'm going to probably solve for good momos in this world? As in, there are bad momos and people are consuming and they're getting addicted to these momos which are made out on the streets, which have a lot of MSG, which have nice spicy sauces. I actually like them. I haven't had an authentic momo. Maybe if I have an authentic momo, I still would like to go back and eat the ones on the street. Like at some point of time, you may not have lived in hostels, but at some point of time, you start to get used to this hostel food that I used to go back home and see that, man, like I missed my hostel food at least momentarily, that my potatoes were peeled and uh, food was good. But you go back to this food that was served in hostels, which were very basic and pretty unhygienic. So I haven't had an authentic momo. Um, so I really would look forward to come to Delhi and have your momo. But but in the sense that when you decided to solve for momos and say that okay, I'm going to make better momos, did you have to tell people that these are authentic because people's taste would get acclimatized to what is available, right? So when did you decide you're going to start? And was there any difficulty at that point of time educating people that what you're selling is authentic, not what is available out on the streets?
So when we started in Jaipur, and being in Jaipur, Rajasthan, the market was not so much aware about momos or dumpling as a product. When we started, when we started with the R&D and trial, before even Blue Pine Foods came into existence in 2013-14, right? So we understood at that point of time that we were also like solving the problem of horeca, right? And with the products, some of the so momo in the unorganized form, they were selling with a small cart or with the steamer place, and standing anywhere below the tree or in front of a pan shop or something like that, right? So people weren't actually aware of what is authentic momo all about, right? They only there was a stigma around the product that momo is something which is a junk food, which is a fast food, and it is sold in a certain particular way with a boy who is whose looks are different, and is standing with a steamer, aluminium steamer, and that is how momos are made and prepared. So most of them who haven't had traveled to the world, or even any parts of India where momos are sold or made as authentic food, even in be it Himachal or Ladakh or even Northeast or anywhere. So they were mostly unaware of what an actual authentic momo looks like. People, like example, Kolkata people or even West Bengal, they know much more about momos than any other city does, because they have been consuming authentic
Okay.
momos since childhood, because of the community, one community who was there since ages and era, right? Like the long time they have been living there in and there's a place called Tengra where they sell dumplings and bows and everything in the streets early morning for breakfast. So people are mostly aware from that part what an authentic momo is like. So to the other part of the country, where I also when I was also in Nagpur, people were not so aware, but people were there who were selling momos. So but they didn't know what is an authentic momo like, or what is the person who is selling is what kind of momo it is, just that they are eating momos, right? And authentic momo actually in combination comes with the momo, the dumplings, and the soup, which is clear broth, and then the chutney, which is the sauce which gives some kick, metabolism kick, right? So it is a combination of all the three which is comes in play. So when used to hear a lot about, firstly, that momo is made of maida, and it is very unhealthy. Then another thing, like momo is a junk food or fast food. I used to really feel sad, because it is a staple food, right? It is a staple food of some culture or community, or even coming from the Himalayas, right? It is a staple food from the Himalayan region, but because there was unawareness about momo or dumpling, because it was placed in a very wrong way, the like how the pizzas came into market, it was assumed to be as a very premium product, very, as pizza is also a very is a staple food of some country, right? But the way it was placed, people were ready to pay for very heavy amounts, also pay the price, because they thought that, okay, pizza is coming from Italy or from somewhere international. But whereas momo being a wholesome set meal, also the way it was placed in the market, there was a stigma around the product, and also the stigma around the cuisine as well, that it is a junk food or it's a fast food. And the way it was also being prepared and sold, it was very very different, right? So that's where one thought was there, that what thought literally at that point of time was to change the way India eats momos. And also, yes,
Okay.
so with this thought, we launched Yankees by Mo Mami, which is one of the QSR in 2018, to serve directly to customers, to make a difference, that what is actually authentic momos, or healthy hygienic momos all about, right? Even doing a lot of innovation, how authenticity can be kept in, and how a healthy momo taste actually. So when we started Blue Pine Foods, we started as a Horeca B2B manufacturing food processing company, right? With three products that we started with. That was classic veg, paneer, and chicken variant with maida and whole wheat flour. So with these three products, and then the Horeca customers gave us a lot of feedback, and also they helped us navigate the challenges and understand, and we were also able to educate the customers of who are our Horeca customers, and then they helped us grow at the same point of time. So B2B, as Blue Pine as a B2B company, and Yankees by Momami as a QSR front end, we started reaching out to customers and telling our journey or story, and giving the right narrative, like saving the world one momo at a time as well. So the journey is on with saving the world one momo at a time, and slowly, step by step, not hastily, but yes, educating in the right way. So we even encourage a lot of other brands, who are selling momos, to sell authentic momos. So now the change is there. So now when I see about 2 3 years back, and before we came into one program, and now there has been a lot of change in major national brands and other brands who are selling momos as well. So they are trying to keep authenticity to its core, like they are trying to play with the very good hygienic healthy momos and authentic momos also. Earlier, like anything was just being sold, right, stuffed inside maida. The maida used to be very very thick, and anything, just cabbage and carrot inside the momo, and selling it with lot of MSG. Nowhere, no balance of anything, only and it's a food which also serves the hunger, right? Which also is a which also can be served to the underprivileged or the poverty, because mostly I've seen the reri walas, or the stall holders, petty stall holders, the unorganized sector, those momos are consumed by rickshaw walas and the laborers and other ones, because they don't want to always keep eating the fried things like bread pakoda, or anything which is pakoda or some chole bhature or something like that. So they want to switch on to something else, so they are taking momos, but because of the only the chutney, they are just consuming those momos or the products.
Okay. So so you came from Darjeeling, so you grew up in Darjeeling. So you grew up in Darjeeling, and when did you get to NCR region?
I came here in around 2021. Sorry, 2020, 2011. Yes,
Or 2000.
12. Yes.
But you were already interested in cooking. You already were working, had some kind of an inkling that you would start out in the food sector.
No, not at all. Not at all. And so, so I believe that like I was always like kind of an explorer since childhood. Uh, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but I used to always keep exploring things, being in mountains, Himalayas. Also, I used to keep talking to a lot of people, and also so I wanted to explore Delhi. And when I was coming to Delhi also, there were a lot of inhibitions that it's not right, because at that point of time it was different. Then it was only Delhi, not even NCR. And okay, you are going to Delhi, it's not safe, it's then this will happen or that will happen. But then I wanted to explore and come here. My maternal some families were living here since 40 years and ages, so I was here with them. So and but eventually when I came to Delhi, I could explore more on myself. And I started finding work for myself. I started traveling for myself. And we used to there was no digitalization or no Uber anything at that point of time. And traveling in DTC buses, auto use also used to be very very less. And every household did not have two three cars, right? So there used to be some scooter and something. But yes, so at that point of time, when I came, there was nothing in my mind that I will do something on the food industry, or I'll do something related to something on food, or I am going to become an entrepreneur. There was nothing in my mind at that point of time.
So when did that food idea that would like to be in food, when did that thought first come in?
So, when I used to work in one of the corporate, I also used to be part of a admin team and in administration department, where I used to take care of the, I was part of a canteen committee member. And also when I saw that company grow from like 500 to many, and also then I learned a lot of cuisine as well over there, menu planning, coming from Darjeeling. That point of time, I wasn't aware of the vast menu beyond Himalayan food, right? So I wasn't aware of the vast menu, and how things are planned, and what is the combination and all. So I learned a lot at that point of time. And when MasterChef happened, so in 2013, 12 we applied. So my journey towards food became more inclined post that. But still I was unaware of where I'm heading to, where I'm leading to, because I was not exactly knowing that I'll be doing something on food. So when we were in MasterChef, there were diverse participants from all over the country. So there were participants who were from South India, North India, East, everywhere, every rural, urban, and bringing in lot of techniques, bringing in lot of ingredients, bringing in lot of different cuisines, right? So we were learning amongst ourselves. We were brainstorming, we were bringing in lot of innovation, and lot of things were happening. So there was a huge cultural diversity that was in one place. And I was so much learning from everyone. And when I came back to Jaipur after MasterChef, so then what next was my question. And what next now, what to do? Like, I've been to MasterChef, okay, I went till top 6, now what next lies ahead of it. So then I used to go for workshops, as I earlier quoted. So I used to go for workshops, teaching classes and giving workshops on different cuisines and everything. But that was somehow not helping me find my purpose. I used to enjoy teaching, I used to enjoy, but I thought that only this can't be the reason. Only doing this thing is not my purpose of life. I need to do something else.
So, but going back, while you were in Darjeeling, did you help your mother and grandmother while they were cooking, or did this interest to cook come when you left Darjeeling and you were nostalgic about that food, and that's when you started cooking?
I used to help definitely. So I was brought up by my grandparents, right? So, but we used to live in a joint family. But and later we had different floors and different kitchens, because some were pure vegetarian, some were pure non-vegetarian, and so there were different floors of cooking. Uh, and then there was a diversified culture in my family as well, coming from both Hinduism and Buddhism combined, right? So I learned so much over there, because my aunts used to prepare pure vegetarian and very authentic, food, and we used to grind our own masalas at home, and prepare food. And at the same point of time, my mom, she had a different expertise in her cooking, right? She brought in lot of beautiful way of cooking, which is like crafting, and where artisanal creativity comes in, right? Like we have a new year in around February, which is called as Losar, right? So she used to craft and make beautiful flower and designs, like cookies kind of things, which we call as koje and khapse. So she used to make it beautifully, and we used to also help, because we had to make it for the whole village to be distributed. We used to craft and make, and my elder brother used to be a very very good learner as well at that point of time. And I also used to keep learning from her, but I was more inclined towards, at that point of time, towards the vegetarian side. so because my grandmother was a pure vegetarian and I used to live with her, then even like what used to happen, if I go to my mom and eat a lot of momos and come up, then I used to be sprinkled with ganga jal and holy water, something like that. So I was brought up by my grandparents since I was 1 month old, right? And with my grandmother's expertise, there used to be a lot of cultural, and there were used to be a lot of celebration around the uh, around, like example Baisakhi, or example when we sow rice grain fields and all, then she used to make different kind of dishes as per her culture, right? And my aunt, she used to make different. So there was a combination of everything, and I used to help my aunt a lot. So because my with my grandmother used to stay my younger another aunt, and so I used to help them a lot, and cooking like vegetables and dal and everything and all, and making rotis or chapatis and all. So, and what happened, like during those times, my mom's part of my, so only in my family we are somewhere in the food. No one in the family is aligned towards food, okay? Like my family, meaning my mom's few sides, like maternal side. So when they used to come from Delhi, her my cousins, so they used to be working with Taj Palace and all these hotels, and which we didn't know much, and they used to bring in lot of cuisines that they used to come and make at home. And we used to, like, serve to the village and everyone around, and say, okay, this is like Singapore gobi is very different names at that point of time. And they used to teach a lot of things, and my even my mom's elder sister also, she used to teach a lot of different dishes and all. So we used to fancy around that as well, but nowhere had I thought that I will go into becoming a food entrepreneur, or travel my journey with food. That happened accidentally, and maybe it was destined to be. So somewhere, when I connect my dots, when I look back, everything was destined to be, is what I feel now.
So you grew up in this extremely multi-cuisine culture. You were exposed to various kinds of ingredients, meat, vegetarian, and then you had some influence from Delhi through your mother, and then from the hills. So you kind of were very close to the food cuisine, and you did very well in the Master Chef. You were in the top six. So when did this entrepreneurial bug get you?
So so what happened was like it's a so I feel now, I when I look back, it's so beautiful. And if my journey has to be divided, it's going to be so many volumes of, like, I feel books, like there are so many challenges as well as at the same point of time. But the entrepreneurship happened when I was trying to discover my purpose post master chef, right? So, and I was trying to find out what I need to do. I need to do something because I was always trying to find out and discover myself, and also never could sit idle actually. So my so when I used to be working, Saturday Sunday used to be off. So I used to go for like weekday and weekend classes to learn Japanese and learn studio pottery, ceramics. And then I also used to go for learning Bharatnatyam classes in Delhi Tamil Sangam. And I used to keep myself occupied always. I never could just leave time and waste time. I would say, but then what happened when I was living in Jaipur, and after I came back and was after the workshop and everything was going on. So started with a failed venture, which I call now as failed venture, which was one outlet cafe, which I call it as failed because that was not what had planned to happen. So I wanted something which was again, 18 20 years back, when Nitesh and me, my husband and me, like we, so somehow Nitesh is also, my husband is also very very uh, is a person who has contributed in me becoming an entrepreneur in the food sector, is what I understand now. So because why, I'll tell you quickly. So because 18 20 years back, when we were on our own trying to survive and all, and at that point of time salary was very minimal, and we there was, everything was challenging, right? We were discovering and finding ourselves. When I was also looking out for Himalayan food in Delhi, and when I was not finding it a proper Himalayan food being served here. So at that point of time, Nitesh also used to tell me that, we'll have our own restaurant in highway, every highways, so that we'll serve, hygienic, authentic and affordable food. So hygienic, authentic and affordable food, now I relate so much. So these three were our key uh, terms which we used to think then. And somehow that seed was there, but I was not able to figure it out because funds were a problem, a lot of other challenges and discovering, and the era that we are in right now was not available at that point of time for an entrepreneur, right? So somehow that came back, and I was seeing those dreams happening in Jaipur getting fulfilled. But somehow we went on to serve something else rather than Himalayan food. So we went on to serving Maggie and parathas and something else. And then I said to my partners that, okay, you please carry on. I'm I'm stepping out, but if any profit comes, anything happens, please do share, but please continue. So that point of time started with the another venture which was known by Satwa Atitya. It's a pious hospitality. That was also that name given by me. It was under Infosys in Mahindra SEZ, and I used to feel so somehow fulfilled and with purpose, because there were a lot of the village women and also males as well who used to come and work, and I used to be there guiding them, helping them, preparing hygienically, cutting salads, making chapatis on roti making machine, and also cooking food. We had different cuisines over there. It was not about momos, but it was all about everything, like South Indian, North Indian and every cuisine. So that was also helping me. But somehow again, at the same point of time, we were also already started with the frozen momos and spring rolls R&D and trial before BluePine Foods got registered. So
So this was in Jaipur as
yes,
well, is
yes,
it?
yes, It was in
Okay.
Jaipur, and it was a very successful one. And so always, so Satwa Atitya was the name, and handed it over to one of my co-founder who was then a partner. So along the journey, I also realized that being organized is key. So being organized or being compliant is must for an entrepreneur as well. So coming back to your question, so the thing is that I was trying to find out something, and when entrepreneurship, actually I realized that I was destined to become an entrepreneur is when MOOC happened. That is when lockdown. So lot of things have happened in lockdown. I pray for everyone, but somewhere somehow I am deeply in gratitude that lockdown happened. Because of lockdown, COVID, I could be part of NSRCEL women startup program. And that's where I realized that I am an entrepreneur, and I am an entrepreneur, not a businesswoman only. So so Aditi differentiates usually between being a businesswoman completely and then as an entrepreneur. So I could find those values and whatever I was feeling with everything when I went to MOOC journey, right? When MOOC started in 2020, so I could discover myself, and I understood that I'm an entrepreneur. Actually, I'm an entrepreneur, and I was wanting to become an entrepreneur because with women startup program, it helped me understand myself, reflect upon deep within myself, and also about my venture as well, and travel the journey of entrepreneurship and understand the values and systems and everything in place. So I was able to discover myself usually during the MOOC and pre-incubation incubation journey, the 1.5 year long journey, which has been a blessing to us, for me as an individual, and also for the venture as well.
Oh, great. Thank you. So now that you were trying to become an entrepreneur and MOOC happened, it kind of realigned your vision and your desires. And that was when Shark Tank happened.
So Shark Tank happened after the incubation was getting over. So right at that point of time when incubation was getting over, it was a beautiful journey. So what? So when I look back again, so it's so beautiful that it everything had to fall in place, right? Everything had to fall in place, the right time, the right moment. I had to be part of NSRCEL, and 210 peer network, cohort learning, being a POC, and then learning. My first pitching was so funny. I have everything recorded, kept it with me, the mobile video that we had to submit. And when I see now also, I find it so funny, like when I'm not able to pitch about what I'm trying to say. So a MOOC and incubation journey really helped me identify my strengths, and as well as my venture's strength, about BluePine food strengths. So I could discover so much that it really gave me so much of confidence. And with that confidence, with the pitch deck and learnings and everything, when Shark Tank came in, the form that came in through NSRCEL only, we applied, right? And we got shortlisted. I was not even thinking that Shark Tank would, because whenever I say, whenever everyone used to ask, what are you doing? I couldn't explain that Blue Pine Foods is a startup or it's a food processing company, because nobody would understand, right? So I was thinking, then I had to only say to everyone, I'm making momos, right? So everyone had this thought that making momos, okay, she must be standing in a road and making momos and selling momos in a counter, something. So neither even the families also could understand what exactly we were building upon. So that's how, like, it identified, gave me a platform. And also then I was so much confident that now I could explain to Shark Tank also that what is Blue Pine Foods Private Limited all about. and what is Yankees by Momami doing, right? And what, where is the vision, where is the like passion, like how we have come so far. It helped me so much, so much that um, I have been able to discover amazing things about my venture strengths, right? With my team and everything, the ecosystem as well. And that led me to great confidence. And first time in my life, I had never applied for pitching or funding round. So first time in my life, I went on to Shark Tank India, pitched for the first time ever for funding, and then we got three shark deal also.
But I guess I remember watching the episode. Yes, people were a little bit surprised to see a Momo company come in as the first Shark Tank pitch in India because we never had Shark Tank in India before. I think, if I'm not right, I don't know. Um, uh, I don't really watch Shark Tank. The only ones I watch, the first one that you pitched, and then a couple of others when NSRCEL entrepreneurs got funded. But I do remember the sharks being extremely, what I would say, not surprised, but when they ate your momo, perhaps they would have then felt what an authentic momo should be because it was not what was available out in the streets. And I do remember they talking about the quality of your momo, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Professor. So it was a huge platform coming out from the incubation journey, going right down, right there to Shark Tank, and speaking what we had been doing very silently at the back end, right? And speaking about us being able to tell where we are, who we are to the national television internationally was a big achievement at that point of time. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure Professor Handa's support and his questioning, his very hard questioning that he does, would have helped you because the sharks would be very pale compared to the kind of questions that you have to answer from Professor Handa.
Yes, absolutely. Malvika, ma'am, Professor Anda, and yourself, you've given us so much of learnings and so much of the submissions, the submissions, the OKRs that used to happen, and the milestone settings and all that gave us so much confidence that you throw us any question, we are ready to answer, right? It's because everything, whatever we have done, we have to answer that only, right? So there was no as being getting scared or being worried about only that the jargons or the big words should not come in, but they were very kind and everyone was very supportive, and it went on to become so beautiful, the journey.
So now post Shark Tank, there's quite a bit of interest in what you're doing. A lot of people are calling you. You've been a role model to a lot of young people. You've been role model to people from your region. So, how have people in Darjeeling being motivated by your success? Has it been influencing people there saying that I also want to do something on my own? How is the entrepreneurship scene there changing thanks to Aditi's success?
It's it has brought immense change, and everybody, not only Darjeeling, even other regions of India also, they keep asking which program were you in, right? So everybody applies for, I think, try to apply for the same program that we were, but they end up being landing in the GSK program, right? So then again I have to explain that, oh no, it's not the 10K, but it's the women startup program. It's 1.5 year long incubation program. Then they say, okay, then now I've already done this, can I again go back and join that same program that you were into? Then I say, no, you cannot, because GS10K is above incubation, right? So there are many such stories where every time I meet and they want to be part of NSRCL, I am Bangalore somehow or the other, and the Himalayas are amazingly inspired because they saw first time coming from a Himalayan region, not to be particularly about Northeast only, but Himalayan region from Northeast, representing the Himalayas, coming to NSRCEL in Bangalore, and going to Shark Tank India and becoming the first opener of the first season of Shark Tank India, that gave immense confidence to everyone around, that if Aditi can do it, we can also do it, because everybody has the passion and zeal to do something, and they have been doing there, but very not being so confident about themselves, right? They have great strengths and potentials also. Yes, and Darjeeling, they, my village people also, they felicitated my mother on behalf of me. So and because she is the village president as well, and she is a social worker, and she was felicitated, and they keep praising all the people. They keep asking, when am I going back, and when am I coming to Darjeeling, and a lot of inspiration. Then there's Himalayan Entrepreneur Network. They also wanted to be part of NSRCL somehow, and then some of the entrepreneurs did apply last year, right, in WSP4. And also there was now in Siliguri also, like recently I went to for the Women's Day program, and they were also very much interested and wanted to know more about. So the hills and Himalayas are rising, and they want to be part of I am Bangalore NSRCL, and they also want to come and tell the story, the narratives of what they've been doing and what strengths they have, right? So it is definitely huge confidence that has given, and everyone wants to be part of NSRCL and Bangalore.
Wow, great, great to hear that, Aditi. So, where are you now? What's in front of you? What are you planning out? What's your future or near future like?
So right now along the post Shark Tank, now we are now in. If I speak about the QSR part, we are now six QSRs, right? Self-run QSRs, and B2B is a major focus, and the processing part. Right now, we are focused immediately on the momos or dumplings and dim sums, which is we do customizations as well. So B2B is a major customer base, where there is 60% we are doing Horeca only for major brands, national brands. So, so Professor, one there will be a lot of. You might also have had a momos or dim sum somewhere in a national brand outlet, or even a five-star hotel, but not knowing that it is Blue Pine Foods momos. So yes.
Oh,
So yeah, so growing now, we are trying to now integrate. We have already started since last year. So I found this collaboration through one of my Shark Tank peer, who has tech expertise regarding the AI and IoT, right? Two of them. So we collaborated with them, and we are now getting technology in our system and processes with the 7 years history that we have, and the strengths, right, with the SOPs and processes, everything. So converting those into technology, and also with AI and IoT, how we can scale up, and with the data and everything, how we will be able to narrate and read the data in a very given specific period of time, and not waiting for so long, and so many things that are in place with technology that we are working upon it. And at the same point of time, another my one of my peer, who's WSP3 peer only, she is into architecture. She is one of our ESG consultants. So we have been studying the data of our wastage and everything since past 2 years, about wastage, about the agro produce or the products, or even the wastage of electricity or even water or anything that we are doing. So we are working upon that as well. And the new products, new innovations that we have done, a small patent that has got published, and we have now about 8 products that are trademarked, and then we have new products to be launched. And next is trying becoming number one lean Himalayan food processing company is one of the aim that at the very moment, besides revenue definitely, and to be able to employ 1,000 plus underprivileged, because where I earlier also said that we focus more on handcrafted artisanal as well. So bringing technology, and at the same point of time keeping those artisanal handcrafted aspect also intact, right? So by because handcrafted artisanal momos are made with a lot of love and care, so a lot of emotions goes inside it. That's how we want to travel to everyone's heart, right? Everyone's soul, how we want to reach out to everyone's every customer. So that's where like we are intending to keep those both the aspects together, and at the same time leveraging on our products and the strengths that we have. Now we have around 40 plus products, and we also do customizations for different brands. So yes, Horeca is one major aspect that we are wanting to focus upon and keep increasing the B2B part. And in soon time now we'll be launching the retail packaging as well. So but a very specific zone and very specific area only, not focusing being everywhere. And yes, going global. So because but stepwise, phase wise.
So yeah, so conquering the world one step at a time. So hopefully we'll see you in Bangalore soon. That we should have your products being sold here. Uh, um, uh, but I also congratulate you that you managed to get your husband on recently. You joined full time, so that's a good progress. So both of y'all are working on it together. Great success. Um, so I wish you lots and lots of success, Aditi. As you have seen, things have come your way because kind of single-minded focus on helping us enjoy true Himalayan cuisine, and hopefully we'll get to see more and more such uh, products come from the rest of the country because our culinary heritage is like so big, so vast that we should have thousands of entrepreneurs who can provide extremely localized cuisine so that we can start to enjoy, right? So, wishing you lots of success, Aditi, and hope to see you soon again.
Yes, thank you so much, Professor, and thank you, NSRCEL, which has given the awakening of, we were like in during the lockdown, like I really was like in a whirlpool, like going around and around the same path, and not being able to, you know. Propel anywhere. So NSRCEL has been instrumental in giving that trajectory to our venture and to myself also, because if me as an individual, if you see, you've seen me through the whole last 3 years, and I believe that I have also been evolving so much with all the learnings, and with the cohort learning, that's more important, that I have grown up with actually with the cohort learning. And being a POC also has helped me to find myself as becoming a better leader as well, which is helping me simultaneously with my organization also, right? So everywhere I have only been able to gain, and with lot of uh, blessings, blissfulness, and with lot of serendipity. So and with lot of gratitude, I would also like to thank everyone for letting me discover myself and the venture as well. And we want to build this with a lot of value creation, more than valuation. So that's where our focus lies.
Right, right. Thanks a lot, Aditi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Yeah, bye.